So today, lads, we're going to be reacting to every NBA team's biggest offseason regret. And it is an article from Bleacher Report from Zach Buckley. So obviously, you guys can go and see that. So it is an article from yesterday. We're going to be seeing what the biggest regret is. And I'm going to be guessing for each team. So the first team is the Hawks. I actually don't know what their biggest regret is from this offseason, honestly. If you're the Hawks, I'd have no idea. Waiting too long to trade Kobe Buffkin. I don't think he ever really had value, though, did he? Like, I think that's just making the assumption that, like, the Hawks were a popular pick on the offseason winners list, and the major missteps have plagued them past summers. The DeJounte Murray trade. The only thing I'll say about the DeJounte Murray trade is you got Dyson Daniels for him. You got Dyson Daniels. Like, if you didn't get Dyson Daniels, yes, I would put the DeJounte Murray as an absolute disaster, but it's just a bad trade. The Kobe Buffkin pick was terrible. But, like, Kobe Buffkin's literally playing. I'm pretty sure, is he not, like, coming off the bench for the Lakers G League team while Bronny's in the league? But, like, when was he's never had trade value. So, Boston Celtics letting Ryan Kalkbrenner slip away. But, like, I get it, but, like, they held 32 pick, wound up flipping it for 2 later seconds and 2 future firsts. It's good value in a vacuum, but they still could have strained their interior by keeping the pick and spending it on Ryan Kalkbrenner. But, like, that's like saying, I don't know, the losers of the 20... I'm trying to think of, like, a good pick from a draft. Because, like, there was a much better player, like, 3 picks later. It's like saying the Bulls were losers in the 2017 draft because they took Lauri Markkanen instead of Donovan Mitchell. Like, if they had him and traded him like Minnesota did with Walker Kessler, it's different. But, like, you're hypothetically saying that they would have, even if they kept the pick, they would have used it on Kalkbrenner. I don't think they would have. I really don't think they would have. I like him. I think he's good, but I don't think they would have. And I'm also not sure how good he'd be. The Nets, obviously drafting 4 point guards in the first round, and other than Jaeger Demon, none of them have worked out. Spending 4 first-round picks on playmakers. Armed with a whopping 5 first-round pick, the next figure to rank among the first-round's bullets, movers, and shakes. Instead, they made all 5 stacks, 4 of them on players who can't play make as big as strength. Demon, Traore, Saraf, and Danny Wolf. I mean this when I say this. Like, if they had I like all of these guys, by the way. Considering the picks that they were taking, like late first, just purely based on potential. I think Jaeger Demon at 8 is fine. Like, would he go 8 in a redraft? He'd probably still go top 10. Saraf and Traore as late first round picks. I still think Ben Saraf has something going for him. Traore has just been a struggle. Like, he did struggle in fairness last season a little bit. But why did they use them all? Like, they got 4 the same player. I don't know if Danny Wolf's ever really going to be an NBA player. But yeah, it's a weird one. So, yeah, Charlotte Hornets waiving Josh Okogie. I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. He's not, like, look, I don't think that's that relevant, to be honest. Like, I don't hate Josh Okogie, but he's just fine. Like, and he's been just fine since he's been in the league. Like, I don't think it's really a game changer that much. Chicago Bulls, it was selling low on Lonzo Ball. Back in February, the chance to flip Lonzo Ball for a first-round pick. Instead, they kept him around, linked him to a 2-year, $20 million extension. Come July, they relented and sent Ball packing. Surely the club simply reached an offer to refuse. Nope, we watched him miss the campaign's final 2 months with a sprained wrist. They dealt him for Isaac Okoro. I like Isaac Okoro. I like Isaac Okoro. Like, what are the odds that a first-round pick, a mid-first-round pick, or even a late first-round pick is going to be better than Isaac Okoro? Is it greater than 50%? I don't know. I like Isaac Okoro. I don't hate this trade. Okoro's fine, but his all-defense skills and offensive limitations have always led to role reduction on playoff time. It's not like the Bulls had a glaring need on the wings. Since Matas looks like a rising star, Herter can handle a rotational role, and they're forever committed to Patrick Williams, who just spent a lottery pick on Noah Essengate. Like, trade Patrick Williams. I like Isaac Okoro. I like this kid. So I don't hate this move. mainly because I just like Okoro. And I don't think selling low on him. This reminds me of when people thought the Bulls sold low on Caruso when they got Josh Giddey because they wanted them to get the 13th pick and get fucking Devin Carter or something. No, picks are always hypothetical. Okoro is a good NBA player. Like, if it was a pick that's going to be a top 5 pick or a top 10 pick, then, or whatever, but like, you're probably not going to get that. Cleveland Cavaliers, subtracting and not replacing a shot creator. Obviously, they got rid of Ty Jerome. Jeez, he's only on 3 years, 28 million. Why did they not keep him? Genuinely, why could they not afford a $9 million a year contract? Like, that's a steal for Ty Jerome. But like, I don't think the Cavs are in a bad spot, to be honest. Like, Donovan Mitchell is still Donovan Mitchell. Like, they're not gonna be on track to win 70 like last year, but like, they're what? They're a game off the 2nd seed. And they were the top seed last year, and it didn't really matter. They still lost in the 2nd round. So I don't hate this, to be honest. They've slipped from 1st to 11th in offensive efficiency. Like, look, I'm going to be honest. Ty Jerome is not the difference between you being a league average of offensive efficiency and the best in the league. It's just not really it. But fair enough. Neglecting the point guard. The Dallas Mavericks. Oh my God. Like, why did they think D'Lo is the answer? That's obviously the biggest problem. But the problem, they have so many problems. But why did they think D'Lo was the answer? Why did they think, like, we're now at the stage where freaking Ryan Nembhard is playing big minutes as an undrafted. Was he drafted? I don't think he was drafted. Where is it? Yeah, an undrafted rookie has been starting games. Genuinely. Like, that's how bad it's gotten, where an undrafted rookie is out here starting games. But, yeah, it's a kind of a tough one. Okay, Nembhard's kind of gone out of the rotation, but he was playing big minutes. Like, that, you're kind of fucked. You're really fucked. They knew they spent the start of the campaign without Kyrie Irving. But why D'Lo? Like, they literally had Cooper Flagg running the point. Cooper Flagg's not a point guard. He's an 18-year-old. He's an 18-year-old Swiss Army knife who can maybe play a couple of minutes here or there as a secondary ball handler. He's not a fucking point guard. Obviously, that's the worst thing. Denver Nuggets paying a premium for Cam Johnson. Unpopular opinion, they didn't pay a premium for Cam Johnson. To be clear, nothing's keeping Nuggets up late at night right now. Yeah, even decision could eventually go down as a good one. Johnson's fit seems snug on paper, and he's too good of a shooter for his connection rate to stay this low for too much longer. All it said, Johnson hasn't been anything close to what Denver thought it was getting when it swapped to MPJ and unprotected 2032 first to Adam. Unless the Nuggets suck in 2032, Johnson's fit is better than MPJ's fit. It just is. His contract's better than MPJ's contract. There's no scenario where I think this is a regret. When it comes to playoff time, he'll figure it out. Michael Porter Jr. is going to keep getting himself in trouble on podcasts and chucking for Brooklyn, and I think this isn't a bad trade. Detroit Pistons, nothing. Like, not keeping Malik Beasley and just saying, fuck it, we don't care that you may or may not be get arrested during the season. We'll take that risk. Not getting a co-star for Cade Cunningham. They are 13-2. They don't need a they don't need a co-star for Cade Cunningham. The only thing is that they do have the assets, and they can get whoever they want. But they don't need a co-star for Cade Cunningham. Let it run. Let it run this year. Cade's young enough. And Cade's off that rookie deal. The only thing is, though, is that Ivy's going to be off his rookie deal at the end of this year. So maybe you want to trade Ivy. But, like, you can probably trade Ivy, Tobias Harris, and a pick and get, like, a good player. You probably have, if you want to get a star. Like, I think, like, you're going to get fleeced by Danny Ainge. But if you want to get Larry Markkinen, you can probably get you can probably give up Jaden Ivey, Ron Holland, Tobias Harris, and 2 firsts. 2 firsts and a pick swap. Like, that's something that I think they might consider. And then maybe have to give an extra pick swap. But, like, you were never going to be able to do that in the offseason. Because, ironically, Jalen Duren is that second star. Jalen Duren has been a second star. But, like, they're 13-2. They don't need to do anything rash at the minute. The Warriors did what they could with Kuminga. He was going to sign the qualifying offer. Like, they can't... I don't know what they could have done. Like, they couldn't trade him. They weren't able to trade him. He could have left as an unrestricted free agent. They got him for another year. It's not... maybe they didn't trade him early enough. They could trade him during the season. And the Warriors have been all right. Like, they're 9-8. They've been okay. But yeah, I mean, if you can't trade him, you can't trade him. It is what it is. Not settling Tari Eason's uncertain future. Yeah, that is big because Tari Eason's really good. And the only thing is like, Tari Eason, it could be one of those things with Tari Eason is that you might actually have to, if you're gonna try at that point guard and you're trying to compete, you have to sell high on some of these young players. Like the Rockets are 10-3, they're doing extremely well. You've got Kevin Durant, you've got other players. Like I think you might have to sell on Tari. You have to sell on one of, in my opinion, you've already sold on Jalen Green. You're probably gonna have to sell on one of Jabari Smith, Tari Eason, or Reed Shepherd this season. But yeah, if he's not locked up, fair enough. Not having an emergency plan in place for Miles Turner's exit, they're tanking. They're literally tanking. That their emergency plan is we don't want one. We want to tank. This is their plan. They're going to AP and spending $200K. No, yeah, the LA Clippers. That's the dumbest shit ever. They got rid of Norman Powell for Bradley Beal. They knew Bradley Beal was coming in. Norman Powell was so much better than Bradley Beal was going to be. That was such a dumb one. And as a Heat fan, thank you for giving us Norman Powell. The Lakers not finding a three-point threat. I mean, it's a tough one when Luka's shooting as bad as he is. When, like, Laravia is a bit iffy. Bronny can't shoot. LeBron's a three-point threat at this stage. It's kind of hard to find them though. Like you're going to overpay for like a 3-and-OD player, and you've already got one of them in Dalton Connect. So I think losing, especially after you gave up 2 seconds and D'Lo for him, losing Dorian Finney-Smith, I think that's probably one of their biggest things. Memphis Grizzlies not making more subtractions. They obviously got rid of Desmond Bane. I don't know what the hell the Memphis Grizzlies can do. I think the coach is an issue. I don't think he's the right coach for this team. I don't think Isolo's a bad coach. He's the wrong coach for this team. In general, I think it's the wrong coach for the team. The Miami Heat rushing the Nikola Jovic extension. Like, the idea of Nikola Jovic, he could be one of those guys that is just the idea of him's better than the player. I really, really, really am like this guy has so much potential. When you see him playing with Serbia, you're like, there's a player in here. Not only is there a player in here, like there's a potential star in here. Like, he could be so good. It's just a tough one. They did get Jakučionis, 4 years, $62 million. That's not a bad extension either. Like, if he gets close to realizing his potential, you're paying him $15 million a year, which is nothing. I still think $15 million a year for someone who's going to give you 10 a game is probably about average at this stage. It's just got to shoot better. But I still think, just from watching with Serbia, I still think there's a serious player in there. Milwaukee Bucks taking a huge financial hit to sign Miles Turner. The window with Giannis is short. You've got to stretch big beside him, and they're looking okay. Or I'll say, they started off looking okay. Where are they? Oh, wow, jeez. I didn't realize how much they'd fallen. They started off really well. They're now not even the play-in. Shit. But, no, he's the perfect center. Like, he's the perfect center next to Giannis. Like, they have to take that risk. Minnesota Timberwolves ignoring the obvious point guard problem. Yeah. But at the same time, look, you already made the trade for Rob Dillingham. Maybe I hoped he was going to work. He didn't. Like, I still don't know. It's like they spent 2 draft picks on centers. What point guard are they really getting with the 17th pick? And I don't know. Are they going to call up, if they want like a true point guard, are they going to call up CJ Fulton from the G League or something? Like, I don't know. I don't know what matters there. New Orleans Pelicans forgetting pick protections exist. Yeah. I'm fully convinced if they put a top 5 protection on that pick, it would have made no difference. Like, I don't even hate the Derek Queen one. It's just, if as good as Derek Queen is, just take him at 7. Just take him at 7. Like, I like Jeremiah Fears as well, but he's not Derek Queen. Just take him at 7. They were obsessed with Derek Queen. Take him at 7. You don't have to give up 2 first-round picks to go take him. Like, you just don't. Especially when those first-round picks, like, you potentially had 2 picks that are looking... By the way, like, there are the 2 and 13 Pacers and the 2 and 13 Pelicans. Both projected to be top 3 picks. You had 2 projected top 3 picks, and you traded both of them on draft week. Both of them. Like, you could have literally gone and put in a protection. You could have said top 5 protected. And in worst case scenario, you're like, if we gave the 6th pick, not ideal. Not ideal that we gave the 6th pick, but look, Derek Queen's great. Not, oh shit, we've just given up Darren Peterson. Like, you might literally give, I think, who has your pick? The Pacers, not the Pacers, the Hawks have your pick. And the Pacers have their own pick again. The Knicks prioritizing Yabusele without defining his role. Yeah, I don't get that one. I really don't get why they were like overly committing to Yabusele. I like Yabusele, but like Yabusele is very different as when he's on a minimum contract do-it-all player versus, a kind of marquee free agent. Oklahoma City Thunder, none. Yeah. They didn't really do anything. They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything. Yeah. The Magic not finding more shooting. You can't say that that's the problem when they traded for a shooter who just forgot how to shoot. That's not their problem. That's not... Like, and then also, Jalen Suggs has been struggling. It's not the Magic's fault. Like, their regret isn't not finding more shooting. The regret is that the shooting they found forgot how to shoot. The Sixers not using backcourt congestion to fill frontcourt need. Who are they going to trade? Who do you think they should trade? Genuinely. Who do you think they should trade? Did they think VJ Edgecombe was going to be this good? McCain looked like a future superstar a year ago. You just traded for Quentin Grimes. Like, who are they going to trade for frontcourt? And also, by the way, the Sixers aren't going to be good. Like, they're 8-6 now after starting. Did they start 5-0? So what, they're 3-6 since then? They've not been good. They're not a good team. And they're probably not going to make the playoffs. So, I don't know. I don't know what the Sixers can do. And the Phoenix Suns trade ups in the second round. I mean, I don't think the trading up in the second round is relevant. Portland Trailblazers betting big on Hansen Yang while burying him on the depth chart. Yang Hansen is a guy that's going to be either really good or really, really bad. There's no in between, and he's a project player. Look, he's 2 years away. He might be 2 years away from being 2 years away. But like, there's a world where he could have been. It said they traded at the 11th spot and wound up shocking everyone by spending the 16th pick on Yang Hansen. Look, Derek Queen was a huge question mark because based on every metric of like play, Derek Queen should have been the number 1 pick. Like should have been in the conversation for number 1. Like, if you went in depth onto the metrics, he should have been in the number 1 conversation. But everything was about questioning his fit at the NBA level. But clearly he's been better. Cedric Coward was an upperclassman who started off playing D3. It's like you are risking and taking a pick that high on someone like that. As we've seen the previous year, the main upperclassman that was taken exactly high in Zach Edey and Devin Carter just did not work out. Dalton Connect, they didn't work out. Albeit the year before it was Jaime Hackways. But still, they're both risks and they both are question marks, just like Yang Hansen did. But still, they took a gamble on him. They're Portland. They probably felt like they're a lot closer to being good than a lot of people thought they were. And because of that, they were willing to take that risk. Like, you don't... Fortune favors the bold sometimes when you're in that position to draft. And it's like, even if you look at Milwaukee, you get Giannis. Then they struck out on Thon Maker thinking he was going to be like Giannis. You then look at Toronto, who were obsessed with Giannis, and they just didn't end up getting him. They weren't able to trade up and get into the mix to go get him. So then the next year, they drafted Bruno Caboclo in the hope he was going to be Giannis. So these like high potential picks in the middle of the draft, they either work so well or don't at all. And we'll see. He's playing the G League. He's looked okay. There has been flashes of it. And yeah, I don't think anyone expected Hansen Yang to be in the Rookie of the Year conversation or to be even a major player's rookie. And if he did, that's not why they drafted him. Sacramento Kings ignoring upside. Yeah, I think the Kings just... I don't even know what the Kings have done. Like, I don't know. I can't even describe it. It's like they tried to win, but not tried to win. The Spurs maxing out De'Aaron Fox. They couldn't not max him out. They had to max him out. The problem is that, look, you traded for De'Aaron Fox in February. You didn't know that you were getting the second pick in the draft. And at number 2, you don't draft for need. You draft, or for fit, you draft for the best player available. And Dylan Harper, by the way, unbelievable. You gave up quite a bit to get De'Aaron Fox. So therefore, you're going to keep De'Aaron. But also, De'Aaron's not a bad contract. He's not a bad player on a max. If you want to trade De'Aaron. Like, you can trade him. You can bring in another star. The Raptors neglecting floor spacing. I mean, the Raptors are hooping right now. Like, 9-1 in their last 10. I mean, they got RJ Barrett in the OG trade. Was it 2 years ago? They got Brandon Ingram. Like, I don't even care if they neglecting floor space and they're hooping. The Utah Jazz not getting more assets during roster reset. The one thing, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But one thing I really do think that they should have maybe tried to have done was do what the Oklahoma City Thunder did and just take a bunch of bad contracts. That's one of the smartest things you can do. Take a bunch of bad contracts for first round picks and way into the future, and suddenly you've got lottery picks. Like Washington Wizards not finding a Corey Kispert trade. I mean, it's hard to find a Corey Kispert trade when people probably don't want Corey Kispert. I don't think Corey Kispert's been a bad NBA player. I don't think he's been a good one either. But yeah, anyway, that's the video. Shout out Bleacher Report for this. I'll see you guys.